Merry Christmas! Yeah! Gotta love the presents. But it's more about giving than receiving. Who am I kidding? It's all about receiving. I'm kidding. I'm not that much of a jerk. Alright guys, so I'm beyond words excited. That's not even a full sentence. But that's how I feel about the winner of the last school species video. That's right. This guy, right there. That alligator snapping turtle. Oh my gosh. You guys made my life right there. Not really, actually the birth of my children made my life. That's up there. That is up there. With that and graduating high school. Pumped about that guy. God, it's gonna be good. Let's go ahead and get this thing started. So, run down the show. If you haven't seen it before, me and Scott picked 2 species each. I'll throw a picture up here about it, talk to you all about it for a little bit. Then at the end of the video, post all 4 pictures right here, annotate them, click on the species that you want us to find, and that's how you vote. Pretty cut and dry, pretty simple. Let's do this thing. First off, I found out that we actually have these around here, and I was like, this would just be really, really cool, just because of what it is. This guy. The American eel. That's right. Now, this is a fish. A lot of people, for some weird reason, don't know that eels are actually fish, but they are. And I've just never seen one, and I would like to. Don't really know that much about these guys. Like I said before, I didn't know we had these in Kentucky, but apparently we do. So, they're pretty cool. Alright, next up is a species that I have always wanted to find, and never have had really the opportunity to go out and look just specifically for this species. And it's this. The eastern hognose snake. Now, there's so many reasons why I would love to find this thing, because this creature is absolutely fascinating when you really look at the details of it. I mean, for starters, he's not venomous, but he has rear fangs. And a lot of people, when you throw out, hey, this snake has rear fangs, they automatically think, oh, venomous. It's not the case. Pretty much these guys are really, really fascinating, and the simple fact, their rear fang, what they use those rear fangs for is this. Their main diet consists of toads. Now, if you know a lot about toads, then you know this. When, like, say one was going after a toad's automatic defense mechanism is to swell up, bigger than life. And what this snake uses those rear fangs for is to simply pop the toad. So it can't do that, and it's able to actually eat the toad a lot easier. Rather than having a mouthful of swelled up toad, he just pops it. Simple. Done. Like that. Also, the defense mechanisms of this creature are amazing. The basic one that we all know is that they flip over on their stomach, lay out with their tongue out, and just emit a putrid smell and play dead. And trust me, from what I've heard, when this creature does this, even though if you know it's not dead, you still don't want to touch it because that smell is so god-awful. That's, of course, like a last resort that it usually does. Another one that it does is arcs its body up and spreads its neck out, almost mimicking a cobra, which is really, really cool. So really, when you first approach this creature, if you're a predator, you're not going to want to mess with it. Especially if finally, you get a hold and you swat it around and then you kill it, you're like, oh my god, I killed something that smells similar to Satan's armpit. We'll just say that. That's pretty bad. It's gotta be. It's Satan. That's never good. Alright guys, well that's mine. Scott's picks. I'm gonna go ahead and hit you up with this first. They're both birds, but they're not just any birds. They're really awesome birds. Like, usually Scott will pick like a little finch or something like that, and I'm like, really? Come on. But no, he actually threw me for a loop with this one. I liked it. First one up is this. The golden eagle. Now this guy just looks intimidating like no other. Just that beak and the sleek physique of its body. Any type of bird of prey, I'm up for the challenge. I really am. Scott, in his high school program, he was in a raptor club, so he got to get a lot of hands-on experience with birds of prey. So he's got a lot of that knowledge down. Also, one thing that we got to keep in mind with this guy is his talons. I mean, look, it's like 2, almost 3-inch long talons. Those get a hold of you, you're screwed. You're in for a world of hurt. So we gotta keep the safety in mind on this one, that's for sure. Last up is this guy. The green heron. Now it's not the great heron, but it's the green heron. And it's almost, it's a lot alike the great heron, except for the fact that it's just smaller. And, well, actually, it doesn't have the long neck. It really looks, and actually is pretty much nothing like the great heron. I really personally don't know a lot about these species. Scott would know far more about these birds than I would. He's the one that suggested it after all, so. But that would be really cool to find. And that really just, that pretty much wraps up what we have for this week. I'll go over for it one more time. We have got the American eel, the eastern hognose snake, the golden eagle, and the great heron. And by great, I mean green. They both start with G, so it threw me off. But the green heron, not the great heron. Green. Anyway, like I said at the beginning of the video, I've annotated these pictures, so all you have to do to vote is click on the species that you want us to find when we start shooting for the show in the spring. Whichever one wins, I'll reveal it next week. So you guys stay tuned for next week's episode. And with that being said, you guys have an awesome Merry Christmas, and I will see you guys next week.